Welcome back. The Agriculture Department's now lifted the national ban on the movement of cattle. It was imposed 3 weeks ago to try and stop the spread of foot and mouth disease. The disease is incredibly infectious, can actually spread on the wind. The ban was imposed after a series of outbreaks in 6 provinces. It has no impact on humans. Marzanne Roets is from the National Animal Health Forum. Marzanne, good afternoon to you and thank you for your time. Is it the right move to lift the ban at this particular time after that 3-week ban?
Yes, thank you, Stephen, and thank you for the opportunity. We are truly grateful to Minister for lifting the ban. We are equally concerned. We did receive an update report yesterday from our National Director of Animal Health, indicating that there are still some positive cases coming through. So we are just asking the public and asking the animal owners just to remain vigilant with the movement of animals.
The risk is always that you lift the ban too early. I mean, the longer you impose the ban, the more money it costs the sector. But if you lift the ban too early, you suddenly have a big increase in the number of cases. Then you have to lock down all these cattle again.
We are not very concerned about that. We believe that the national and provincial directorates of animal health under the Department of Agriculture are really doing a sterling job in terms of just keeping an eye on the movement through the permit system that they have got in place now. As you will see with the Gazette notice, it does still indicate that you need to move animals with the permits. So through that, we are, from our side, still asking everyone to remain vigilant, but also we do believe in our national and provincial animal health directorates.
So what sort of measures are still in place? What sort of measures can be used if it's not just stopping cattle from moving?
So from the National Animal Health Forum side, we promote biosecurity. So every single movement, every single situation in the livestock sector, we do ask the animal owners to have facilities or biosecurity facilities on their properties to make sure that if any animals are introduced into their herds, into their already established herds, that they do keep the animals separate for a certain period of time. In foot and mouth disease, we propose 28 days just to keep those animals separate before they introduce them into their herd, to make sure that there's no cross-contamination of the disease. And we are talking here about all animal diseases, not just the control diseases.
The other issue is the countries that we export beef to. They're already closed. You know, they'll always be very concerned about the spread of foot and mouth disease. Do we need to do quite a lot to convince them to reopen to our exports again?
Yes, but there was one very good thing that did come out of this ban. I think the move from Minister was also done very well in terms of opening up the wool export and the leather and skins, hides. Those exports to China was opened up when we started the 21 days. So there are some exports that are still going to take some work to get the message through that the control in South Africa is at such a level that it's not something to be concerned about.
In the end, I mean, it always boils down to the same problem, really. It costs people an absolute fortune. It's very difficult to control the movement of cattle. It's such an infectious disease. We still aren't really, with all the will in the world, all the work that you do and everyone else does, it's still very difficult to manage this disease. The one thing is that we know there'll be another outbreak at some point.
Yeah, what they've also done now is they've established disease management areas in the provinces. So I think this is also going to make it a little bit easier for the provinces to keep an eye on the movement. We do have a very good cooperation between the department and the SAPS. We, in the last few weeks, have held several conversations with the departments to make sure that any movement does get picked up by the police on the ground, so they are fully aware of the current situation.
Marzanne, Roets, thanks very much indeed. Really do appreciate the time from the National Animal Health Forum.